talk a little about is Thomas Kolopoulos. He's an author, and he has been working with the Generation Z. Who of you knows what the Generation Z is? It's the guys after the Generation Y. It's the people that are born between 1995 and 2015. That's the age group of the Gen Zs. And the ones before are the Gen Ys. Who of you is a Gen Z born between 1995 and 2015? Please stand up so that we get an impression. That's not too many. Okay, see, but you guys are the ones that are going to determine all our future. And all of us who are younger, older than the Gen Zs, which is most of the room, including myself, who's much older. I'm not even Gen Y, I'm a baby boomer, right? Like some of us are too. We need to learn how you guys function in order to drive significant business and have impact on the future. That's what we gotta learn. Now what Thomas Kolopoulos says, the good news is, we are all Gen Zs, either by age or by choice. And that's very instrumental, that's very key. We gotta understand how these guys work, and in his book he talks about, and in his speech he talked about the 6 forces that influence Gen Zs. And we can take huge advantage of that no matter how old we are, and we actually have to. The first one is we need to understand that Gen Zs are hyper-connected. We don't live in the information age anymore. And some of us are even born in the industrial age, but I believed until 2 weeks ago that we live in the informational age. We don't. We are living in the age of hyper-connectivity. Everybody is connected with everything, and it's going to go faster and faster and faster. That means there's a lot of influence going on in hyper-connectivity. We need to understand that hyper-connectivity is the key, and we gotta embrace everything that hyper-connects us. If we stay behind, we will not have a chance for the future, no matter how old we are. And the devices today are so easy to use that you don't need any more technical skills to be hyper-connected. I see it on my own mom. You know, my mom was never a computer expert. When computers came up and you had to learn MS-DOS to make them work, it was a nightmare. She couldn't do it, even I couldn't do it. But today she's absolutely stunning when it comes to using her smartphone, using WhatsApp, using Facebook. She's starting to Twitter now, and she's almost 75 years old. So what's your excuse, right? Breaking generations. What they figured out is that a few years ago, there was this age pyramid. There was a lot of young people, a lot of toddlers, and very little people who get older. They said with time, with technology, with health and medical possibilities we have today, the good thing is that this is not going to be a pyramid anymore. This is a 1-to-1 ratio. So there will be as many 65-year-olds in the world as there are toddlers very soon. The ratio was 10-to-1, 1950. The ratio is 3-to-1 today, and it will be 1-to-1 over the next 25 years. So we need to learn how to work and operate across all generations. And this really concerns us here in Juice Plus, because we believe we have a generational problem. The good news is we don't have a generational problem, as long as we all commit to embrace the new possibilities and we disregard our own age. We can all do it. Wouldn't you agree? From affluence to influence, that is one of the great points, you know. In order to have influence, in the old days, you need an amazing marketing and advertisement budget. Only big companies had influence. Today, we have all influence. Communities have influence. If you manage to build a great community and become somebody who would add value to people's lives, you have influence in this world. This is turning upside down. Everybody who has a Gen Z mind can have influence on the world. We all have that opportunity. That's why our business in Juice Plus has been exploding so massively, because we are driving communities we add value to. And that's why they have more impact over time. That's a great place to be. The next one, they call it slingshotting. Slingshotting is something, what he describes like, you know, that's a slingshot. He says there were a lot of people who didn't have access to technology. They weren't hyper-connected. But since technology became so easy to use, and at the same time become accessible to so many more people in the world. It's like a slingshot effect that turns everything upside down. The Gen Z generation, by age or by choice, will be the generation that disrupts the world the most. And the bad news for all you Gen Y guys, he says you were just a beta test. You were just an experiment. The Gen Zs are the ones that are going to make the big change. So we're going to adjust to that mindset. We see the world as our classroom. We can learn. He said the next 10 years there will be more online courses and online learning accessible to everybody than the entire history of classroom education. Can you imagine that? That's unbelievable. So we have learning at our fingertips 24/7. There's nothing we cannot access. If you want to become a rocket scientist, just go back, study, Google, do whatever, and you will be able to learn something about it. Which was only accessible to high classroom learning in the past is accessible to everybody right now. I just sat together last night at a dinner with a few folks that were 18 years old. You know, I just say, you guys are just 10 years smarter than us at the same age. Because these guys around 20 have as much in their brains and as much education from having all that access as we had when we were above 30. 10 years, and it's going to be more. That's amazing. And then, of course, life hacking. Life hacking. You know, there will be a lot of disruption. All the parameters will be put upside down. Everybody can learn and do whatever he wants. You know, you can actually act like a hacker into certain life scenarios and make them work for yourself. So what I'm saying with that, and what Thomas is saying here, is that we have an amazing amount of power in our hands once we adjust to the opportunities we have. It was an amazing message for me, takeaway, and I thought I would share it with you. We need to understand that it's going to be very opportunistic, very powerful, and very strong, more than anything we have seen so far. That's an amazing effect, and I can only recommend you to read the book, The Gen Z Effect, to learn what I just shared with you, and to understand what the future is going to look like, and what you got to adjust to. It's open for all of us. Remember, Gen Z is not an age group, it's a group you decide to belong to no matter how old you are. There's no excuse for anybody. And this is very significant for our business. The next speaker I have a huge amount of respect for, and I couldn't wait to meet him in person, was Robin Sharma. Who has heard of Robin Sharma so far? Isn't he amazing? Servant leadership, all the things he teaches. It was amazing because he was teaching in front of a pretty small audience there in Dubai. He was in a breakout room, and I was blessed to be really in the front row and hear him from a very short distance and feel his energy. The energy this man has is just so contagious, so amazing, and I felt really blessed to be in the room. And I put a few notes down for you, the key messages he conveyed inside the World Government Summit. And he said only two things actually really matter in life. And this is who you become, who you grow into, and how many lives you touch on the way. I'm sure many of you have heard from Jim Rohn, or about Jim Rohn, passed away a few years ago. Did you know that there were 1,800 people who attended his funeral? All these people he had an impact for. It was actually planned to be a small funeral. They didn't advertise anything, they didn't invite anybody, just the family. And 1,800 people turned up to say thank you to Jim Rohn. This is the difference he has made to people. That is absolutely amazing. Here's a few hashtags about that. Leadership, and this is the key. Leadership is how you behave when no one is watching. Write this quote down. Leadership is how you behave when no one is watching. Not when everybody's watching, when no one is watching. So here's the other things. Victim or leader. You can't be both. You are either a victim or you are a leader. Here's the leaderships. Operate off a stage of I can do it. Eliminate excuses. Focus on true results and always add value to people. See everybody as a source of someone. If you are good to that person, this person will pay it forward to others. What you do is not going to have an impact on just one person. It's having an impact on a lot of people. Get away from distraction. our mobile phone, our devices can really distract us. Get away from the things you don't need to do and become productive. You can be distracted on Facebook, but you can also be productive on Facebook. Try to stay away from distraction. Embrace change. Don't be afraid of change. And last but not least, do not be hypnotized by all the media. Just be a leader and don't follow what other people write. Be a leader, take action, stay focused. Very important messages. And honestly, people will laugh at you. People will fight you. People will shake their heads about you. He says true leaders are weird. If you're a leader, you are weird. You will be called strange. I've been called strange all my life. The moment I'm not called strange anymore, I'm not a leader anymore. You gotta be different. That's very important when you are a leader. Here's another few points he came up with. I love them a lot. Be so good. They means everybody. They can't take the eyes off you. As said earlier, release your addiction to distraction. Get away from distraction. It's so easy to get distracted with all the information overflow we have. Sort it out and become productive. The next one is an important one. Avoid the arrogance of success. You know, you might be spoiled by successes, but understand it's like a roller coaster. Success comes, you earned it, but it will also go away again, and then you got to work hard and struggle and fight to get it back. It's an ongoing roller coaster, which over time is going to take you up. But it's not a straight line. Somebody showed it yesterday on the slide. It was Lucas, I think. Success is like this. This is the path to success. One day you're there. And then it goes on and on and on and on. It's a lifelong learning. Leave people better than you find them. And failure is greatness waiting to happen. Makes total sense. Now, we talk a lot about leadership. And it's not our aim, although we want to build a huge organization, to create 10,000 followers. Our job is to create a handful of strong leaders. And you will be judged by the trail of leaders you build behind you. That is actually what leaders do. Leaders bring other leaders there. They serve to make other people strong. That is a key message on leadership. So here, to wrap up Robin, here's the keys. Live for something that is bigger than yourself. Get yourself on a mission, on a deep purpose. I can tell you what mine is. Mine is the pursuit of happiness. I just love the subject of happiness because everything we do is embedded in happiness. Happiness is the ultimate goal. And it's not even a goal, it's a journey that never ends. So by pursuing happiness and make everything you can to provide a little bit more happiness to other people, we accomplish great things in this world, especially when we do it together. And I think our business here, what we do, is just a perfect vehicle to take people on our journey and take them towards more happiness. Divorce yourself from the herd. The mass is always wrong. You know, make sure you stand out. It's very important. Lead to serve. Servant leadership is a key thing. But that doesn't mean it's not about you. I believe that you can only help people, really help people, when you get strong first. People in a weak situation can't help other people to become strong. You got to be a little bit more absorbing. You got to be a little strong. You got to be a little bit egoistic even to make yourself strong first and then lift others up. All of you who've ever flown on an airplane know what I'm talking about. When the oxygen mask drops, who are you going to put it on first? You're going to put it on for you first or on somebody else? What does the captain tell you? You've got to put it on you first. Because once you are strong, once you are safe, then you can help everybody else. That is servant leadership. Pay it forward what you learned and what made you strong. And then turn pain into power. Leadership happens, success happens outside your comfort zone. That can sometimes be really uncomfortable. It's painful, but this is pain that can be turned into power and can make you even stronger. And here's the third person. That is His Highness Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai. His vision has made Dubai what it is today. And I must tell you, it is just totally amazing to be close to that man. You know, I sat about 5 meters away from him. Next to him was his wife, Princess Inhaya, the daughter of the King of Jordan. They married, and it was so amazing to feel the aura and to hear this man speak, and even to read his book, which I bought a few weeks ago. It is so amazing to see what can be done. And it was also amazing to see how many prime ministers, government officials gave them so much respect for what they are doing. They are becoming a leading example to the world in terms of future, in terms of technology. So I got a few quotes for you, which I took out of one of his books. And the first quote is this: "The word impossible does not exist in a leader's dictionary. No matter how big the challenges, strong faith, determination, and resolve will overcome them." Next one. This is actually the new opera house in downtown Dubai. Amazing. I mean, Juice Plus is in Dubai. Whenever you're there, just have a look around. You will be taken into the future of everything they do here. "A true leader does not derive power from his position, but from his ethics, from people's love for him, and from his knowledge, education, and excellence of his field of work." You know, it's an old model to obey to titles, to obey to bosses. I mean, I must say, I have a huge problem with that. That's why I'm not the typical corporate guy. You know, I give nothing on titles or positions. I always look on how much value people offer. It is not it doesn't mean it's important whether they are a vice president or a manager or just a worker. Whoever adds value is an amazing person. Wouldn't you agree? That's why I love our profession so much, network marketing, because it's all about adding value. There might be a senior director in this business who adds more value to people's lives than a PMD does. And for this PMD, it just means one thing: go back, think about how you started, and start adding value to the people who look up to you again. That's all we do. It's not about title, it's about contribution. That is key to what we do. The goals are clear, the road is paved, and the clock ticks. There's no place for hesitation. Coming back to the Gen Z effect, right? There are many who talk, but we need to accomplish. This is the Dubai frame. It separates old Dubai and modern Dubai. You can actually take an elevator and go up there. It's an amazing construction. It's already ready. I saw it last time from the helicopter. It's unbelievable. Just a huge picture frame in the middle of the city. Crazy, crazy. But it's possible. It's possible. Next one. Those who neglect the new will remain at the back of the line. This is a little bit for those people who believe I can still do it the old way. I have bad news for you. You cannot. You have no chance. And you have no excuse, because no matter how old you are, no matter what you learned in the past, please do adjust to the new. Embrace the possibilities, embrace the technology, and get into action. That's very important. That's what we need to do. If you want to play a significant role in Juice Plus, if you want to play a significant role in this industry, you got to take action. You got to embrace what's possible. That's it. Get out of your comfort zone and just do it. Otherwise, you will be disappointed over time. And last but not least, amazing building by the way, the race for excellence, and this counts for all of us, does not have any finish line. It's an ongoing process. Did you like these three guys? Koulopoulos, Robin Sharma, Al Maktoum. Amazing. Amazing. It opened my own horizons so far. There's so much opportunity ahead of us. We have so much to do. Our life expectancy today is going to be 90 to 102 more years old. We have so many decades to act. It's not over. So God will. It's not over. It's only starting for all of us. That's just an amazing situation to be in. So I can recommend the 3 books to you. And you know, when I talked to Robin a little bit afterwards, we talked about Switzerland, and he was there in Zurich. I couldn't make it, so I was so blessed to see him there. I talked about, you know what, in my business there's an amazing leader. She's a lady, and she has recommended you to me to attend your seminars, and I'm so happy to finally meet you. And he asked me, I said, what's the name of that lady? I said, her name is Susie Mitchell. And he said, I know Susie. And I said, wow, you remember her? I said, of course I remember her. So Susie, please come up to me for a second. I got a gift for you. I got a gift for you. I was at the book signing from Robin, and he said, "What's your name?" And I said, "My name is Susie." So he laughed and he said, "Why Susie?" Because she's such an important person. She's done such an amazing job. And I'm so blessed to be with you because of her recommendation. So here's your book, Susie, with his sign for you personally as a gift. Thanks for everything you do. Thank you. This is for your leadership. Thank you so much. Amazing job. I was so nervous to be able to today award that book signed by Robin Sharma for Susie to her on stage. Ah, it gives me goosebumps. But there's another person who is a hero by his own means for all of you. Without him, the business wouldn't be what it is. So please sign it. Would you come up to me too? I have a book for you as well. And it's the book from Shaykh bin Rashid Al Maktoum for you. The bad news is signed. I couldn't get that close to him that he signs it for you, so I did it. But you know, it's an amazing book, and have fun. There's a lot of awards. It's an amazing book. It's all about leadership, and I thought you'd like it. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you, my friend. Simon Bowler. So, my time is over. Let me leave you with just this. And this is a quote I really believe in. What goes around comes around plus. The more you give, the more you shall receive. And the best example is our Humble Happiness Circle model has traveled the world, has caught the attention of the ministries. The result was an invite to the World Government Summit to meet all these fantastic people, to get a lot of vision, and to be able, on these stages of our Choose Plus World, to transport them to you. I hope you like that. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you so much. Thank you.